Welcome everybody and hello. We are into round three. And today we're racing around Monaco. A circuit I know many people dread, some people do love it. A lot of people do hate it. That is where we are today. Looking forward to this. Always surprisingly had some pretty decent races around Monaco. Although we do have crashes from time to time, it is often a circuit where not many safety cars appear. And that always leads to good racing. It's also one of those races we're going to be testing the skills of our drivers as they prepare now for qualifying to start. Track evolution is usually quite big here, particularly if it's in wet weather conditions, but even in the dry conditions, it's usually quite a cold day in Monaco. Getting cars on track will heat it up. We'll see a lot of people getting quicker and quicker and quicker as the qualifying session goes on. So qualifying usually exciting day at Monaco, and hopefully it will be just that today. We have been stuck on zero for quite a while, so I'm not sure what is happening at the moment here. Here we go, session starting now. Hopefully that hasn't bugged anybody. I don't think it should have. It's just been a spectator glitch on my end, and whilst we're waiting for the cars to come out, let's get myself prepared with our full track data. We'll drop on the telemetry as well, so we're aware of who's doing hot laps or not. Everything else can stay the same. We'll wait for our first car to appear on the track. It would usually be Metal Saviour. Metal Saviour actually not present today, or at least not graced with his presence just yet. So we'll wait and see who that first car will be out on track. There's a movement at the Ferrari garage. Oh, sorry, I'm wrong. Movement at the Haas garage. It looks like movement at the Ferrari garage. However, I know there is a Ferrari. We have Lordy. Is Lordy also coming out there? Let's see, there's a few other cars as well jumping out onto the track. We'll stay on board with Ollie then. His debut race, well, not his debut race, but his debut visit to Monaco. We've got some beautiful camera angles around Monaco as well. We've got Lordy appearing on an outlet, as well as Ash, LFC. So a few of our drivers choosing get an early banker lap in before the track gets too busy. It's definitely a smart choice. Again, when running around such a tight circuit. How's it going, Zach? Welcome in, bud. Welcome in. Good luck in today's race. Hope you can keep all four tyres on the track. Bolly just comes through the bridge section there. And things on the game being a bit quiet at the moment. So let me turn up my volume and just see. Yeah, let me go on board. It's a little bit quiet as well. So let's just turn up our volume just a tad. A little bit more atmospheric as we see our first couple of drivers go through. Ollie's about to start his first lap here. Let's go for the final tight chicane. Horrible corner, that one. Absolutely a horrible corner. But here we go then. Into turn one. Takes it quite nicely. It's a turn that you can actually cut the corner quite nicely up as well. Have a look here. Who else? We've got Lordy also starting his lap. Very nice through turn one. How will Ash take it again? Very nice through turn one. But it's looking a little bit grey out there. I wonder if our weatherman in the pit lane does have anything to say about that. I'm good, Zach. I'm good. I hope you're well. Jump back on board with Ollie here. The approach is a downhill sector, always a tricky sector as well. Very hard to manage your speed down that hill and back underneath the bridge. But Ollie's done a pretty good job there. He again comes through the bridge. Let's see how Lordy is getting on down the hill. If you caught him, we haven't. Ash again. I think he's right on the back here. We have got a yellow flag. I think that was actually look at Adam in the Alpine there, starting his first hot lap of the session. Not too well. Ollie's setting purple time, just what he wants to see. Being the first driver out on track. He hooks it around again, another horrible corner. As I'm sure you're all aware, Monaco is full of them. Tyre strategy is a strange. Yeah, Adam come out of nowhere there. Tyre strategy is a bit of a strange one here. A one stop probably optimal if you think there's going to be incidents and safety cars. However, the amount of grip that you do lose around Monaco can sometimes be pretty scary. Who's next across the line? We've got Aston Martin of LFC. Currently not started great in the championship so far, but one of our quicker drivers hoping for another good weekend here. And Delta Shadow, I believe it is just behind him. He puts it on P1. And Ash, it looks like it's DNF there. He either... no, Ash is... We'll follow Delta, I think. Oh, in fact, no, we'll follow LSC because it's a bit closer. We'll see if we can view Ash's car. I think it has been removed already there. I'm not sure if he did it in the road, but that's the second week in a row where Ash has set a lap and then DNF'd. And that's not going to bode well, as some of these drivers can get themselves into the 110s. As you see, Adam hit a 111 there. Jack putting a bank lap there on the soft tyres, I think. Did a bit of a warm-up lap, getting those tyres into gear again. Not a bad shot around this track to put in a nice bank lap. Make sure you set a time before actually going for a full push lap. Stuart's out for his first lap, actually on the intermediate tyres, so really getting a handle on the track, I suppose, and getting a real banker lap in here. He's using a little bit of ERS. Jack have no wing, is that what it was? Ah, yeah, you're right, he's got no wing. Well spotted, I didn't see that there. Thank you for that, Zach, our co-commentator there in the pit lane. If you go on board his Solo, I can't say I've seen Solo race around Monaco. One of our newer drivers, we've had an absolutely fantastic battle so far with LFC in our previous two races. Very similar pace between the two of them, and he hits his right side there into a wall and is being followed very, very closely by, I believe, an AlphaTauri of Kai who's on an outlet. Everybody else currently on a lap. I think LFC were bringing it into the pit lane. I think Jack will also bring it into the pit lane. Kiddo is just starting his lap and he's just lost his wing as well, so there we go. Kids, we may have had one too many to drink this afternoon, as he admitted, putting it and clipping it into a wall there, as Solo did a moment ago. With Solo still looking like he's pushing to get, again, a nice banker lap in potentially. Had to be very hard on the brakes there, well not to lock up, and he did actually chuck it into the pits. Although it may not have been a bad banker lap that he could have put in there. But we'll look to see what he can do when he's got a front wing, and Kids as well, no front wing. Just try and get that to the pits nice and safely, if you will. And he does. So out on track, we've got Kai, who's on a absolute flyer at the moment. So we'll stay on board with Kai. He's currently got his full wing intact. A Ferrari just ahead of him though, Lordy on an outlap. Hopefully Lordy can find a good place here to get out of the way, as I think I have just been kicked. So there we go. I'll try and get myself back into the lobby then. I think Stu's saying, why is it dry? Because he's on his intermediates, isn't he? He's trying to be a silly bugger. That's what he's trying to do. Looks like we are having some technical difficulties here, so bear with us a moment whilst we do just sort this out. Oh, Ash has just brought me back in. Let's see if we can reconnect here. Okay, so we've got a failure to connect to the EA server. So the EA server is doing a fantastic job so far. For those who are in the chat, I don't think everybody got kicked. So we'll just try and join. I think Ash is inviting a lot of people, and I'll invite people once we get in. If everyone will try and re-access the lobby, If we can't, then we'll do a lobby restart, of course. But yeah, got that invite come through again from Ash. Make sure we get in. Here we go. I'm hoping it's going to keep me as a spectator there. I did press Y again. Right, I am back in here. So it's saying that Ollie's also retired from the session. I was going to invite people and then we'll get our cast back on the way. So who do we need to invite here? We've got Kizza. Not saying he's online at the moment for me. Who else was Zach? Drop Zach an invite. Give an invite. And we are back in. Let's have a look at Johnny's outlap here, because I think he's just joking in chat saying the track's wet. Yeah, he's on softs, he's on softs. So hopefully those that did leave are able to rejoin. We'll just take a look at what we might have missed then. So Adam, back on an outlap. Delta Shadows putting a 111.2. Kai with a 111.7, so great time there from Kai. Hopefully that was him and not an AI. Tori over 112, it's still pretty tight up there. The Ham over 112, Soul over 112, LFC, Lordy, and Trappy over 112 as well. We've got 4 drivers who have not yet set times, and 2 drivers that have set times, but unfortunately DNF'd from the session so far. Let's get our telemetries and things back on so you can see what people are up to here. I think we'll stay on board with Adam. You may be going to set a potential polar. Just going to just have a quick look here. It looks like there's no other drivers in AI according to my telemetry, so I think everybody should be back in. I'll just quickly restart my telemetry in case that's frozen now. Yep, okay, so I think we're all back in. Adam goes in and sets a 110. So it looks like the telemetry might be frozen anyway, so let's close that down and we'll reopen that. Telemetry is back up and running, and again I can still see there are no users in AI currently. This lobby does seem to go a little bit downhill, to make sure I get pictures of everything, just to make sure. I don't know, right, let's get on board with some drivers then. Let's see what Stuart's doing. Going through the tunnel section here. He is on his hot lap, as the ice is still being drained. But I feel he may also have left the lobby. I can't actually tell that. But we'll see. But Stuart is on his hot lap then, been around the corner and he's gone ghosted. Is that me getting kicked again? Is that Stu? I know Stu having a bit of a wobble there as he come out the final corner. Jump on board with Lordy then. the Ferrari driver has got an Alfa Romeo chasing him behind. So Matty Clem is in the lobby, that's fine. So Lordy, with his former teammates just behind him, put a bit of pressure on him on the outlap as he locks up, just going into our downhill section here. Keep nice and close to the curb on the exit. Great traction on the exit. Let's have a look at his pace coming through here. Lordy, he was always a surprise because he's not necessarily the most vocal person, post or pre-race. He always seems to pull out some fantastic race pace. And the occasional fantastic quali lap, which it looks like he's doing extremely well right now as well. He comes around this nice tight corner. Shows us a bit of his rear there, sliding out. Very cheeky, very cheeky. And what can he set here for a quali time? It goes to a 1:11.7, puts him into third on the grid provisionally. With only 3 minutes left to go. It is a track where, again, you can go out quite late, a bit similar to our previous race in Spain. You can go out nice and late. You can see here, 1:15. You know, it's probably probably more than enough time what you need. So you can, again, probably see a lot of drivers, which I think we are seeing now, a lot of drivers coming out onto track. Now, we've got a yellow flag there, that LFC. It was not. So just finishing a race, actually, we'll stay on board. A race. Finishing a lap there, although it looks like it could be a double warm-up lap. We have to have that hammer. Setting another time, the McLaren driver there. Got the Alfa Romeo just in front of him. I believe that is the Alfa Romeo of Matty Clem, who's... No, sorry, it's not. So it's the Alfa Romeo of FPS Tricks. So maybe we'll stick on board with the Hammer 94 here and follow these two cars as they go around the track here. Just 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Still enough time for a driver to come out, get his first kind of lap in, his outlap, and then set a nice time as well. Matty Clem might be looking to do a second lap here. I think the Alfa Romeo driver has gone again for a second lap. We get yellow flags. So again, it is an Aston Martin driver. Is it LFC? The LFC still on track? I think it... No, it isn't LFC. So where's our Aston Martin? Looking for Mercedes. But it is Aston Martin. It's Kida. Kida who's gone out there. I couldn't see his name. Let's go back to the Hammer 94. The Kida there. Better than 117. Followed by a DNF there. And I think he did put his teammate LSC off going around the final corner. Gucci Carbon, unfortunately, parked. The Hammer 94 looks to be letting off the throttle here as he bounces into a wall. I'm not too sure what's just happened there to the Hammer 94. Maybe just letting off and just checking the track map to make sure that no one is behind him and he's not at risk of holding people up. As Torrio brings it around under the tunnel. Yeah, I think he may be on an in lap here, just judging by his ERS. Look at Solo, he was definitely on a hot lap. So yeah, I think Torrio there is either on a second lap or on a still lap. It's hard to tell where people are at the moment, having such lobby issues. LFC has got invalidated again. HDL Trappy, who would usually be a pole sitter, struggling at the moment, so we'll check in with him. He's got enough time to set himself this one final lap, so it's got to be a good one. As Matty Clem a set of 1:13. He missed out on there, and FPS Tricks invalidates here and actually will set no time in this. Oh, although he's got 10 seconds to reach that checkered flag and potentially start another lap. 5, 4, 3. I think he has got there in time. Yes, he has. So FPS Tricks will be our last driver around the track. But let's go on board with HDL Trapper here, who could potentially push himself onto pole position. Adam is still on the track as well, setting a new time. Let's go on board with HDL Trapper. You've had a bit of disappointing qualifying session here. Brings it around the final little chicane and onto the straight. Maybe a little slow on the accelerator there. We'll see what time he gets. It is a P3 for him, so knocking Delta off of P3. Next across the line is going to be the... Well, it looks like it's going to be an Alpine. We've got no Alpines in the race. I don't know what's going on here. Let's go down to our Alfa Romeo of FPS Tricks, who is again invalidated his lap and retires from the session, I think, because he was the final car on the track. And hopefully we are all good here. I do need to try and get a picture of his qualifying session just in case it has messed up. Let's go a quick picture and we'll run through that grid then. So Adam in P1, Solo actually in P2. I didn't notice Solo had jumped himself right up to P2. That's a great result for him in that qualifying session. HDL Trappy in P3, Delta P4, Hammer 95 P5, Lordy P6, Kai P7, Torio P8, Stewart in P9, surprisingly slow there from Stewart, and LSC in P10, Ash in P11, Ollie in P12. Ash and Ollie did also DNF in that session. Matty Clem P13, Killer P14, well with DNF, and Zachary struggled to get a time in during that session. But let's see then, as the drivers get ready to start this race. Was a pretty entertaining qualifying session. We kept on our toes there by having a couple of technical issues as well, which is always nice to see. We always love to have technical issues. But hopefully the lobby is nice and stable now. I'll no longer be the host. It would have migrated to a different host there, so maybe they've got better connectivity than I clearly had at the start of the cast, at the start of the qualifying session. Just as we are waiting then, let's have a look at where we are next week. For round 4, we head to Canada. It is becoming a bit of a fan favourite. I think we do get some pretty good races around Canada. In fact, we are now ready to start our formation. Let's forget about next week. Let's watch all these drivers go around on their formation. It seems that everybody is in the lobby here. So we have the Alpine driver at the front here, Adam, followed by the Williams of Solo, then followed by the Mercedes of HDL Trappy. They are our front three. Then have the Red Bull of Delta Shadow in P4, the Hammer 94 in P5, Lordy in P6, Kai in P7, Torio in P8 is following very closely in this formation. It's nice to see all these drivers though, just getting their foot on the pedal. There's not too much swerving going on, getting their foot on the pedal, getting into formation here, preparing for what it's going to be, I'm sure, a very hectic race. Stewart there in P9, LFC in P10. Again, maybe a little bit out of position. Ash as well, maybe a little bit out of position also. Has just come from another race though around Canada in a different division, so maybe he's got a bit of fatigue. It's a tough track if you have got fatigue. The Haas then in P12 of Ollie. Matty Clem in P13. Kidder who just disqualified in P14. And what a view that is there. What a view that is there. As you see Zach in P15 struggled to get a lap together. Now the question is, who do we go on board with here? I'd quite like to go in the middle somewhere. I think we'll have to start with Adam here and just see where he goes and how his start is. We'll try and quickly flick to the back of the grid. Or through the grid. LSC disqualified there, not parking in his box properly. We get the green flag. We see the strategies here, hard to medium or hard medium as the lights go out. And it's go for all of our drivers. I think Solo there actually got a better start for that and into turn 1. And a bit of contact maybe, but both drivers do make it through. If you look at the back of the pack here, it looks like everyone's got through turn 1 fairly cleanly. As we race through sector 1 here again, still looks fairly clean at the moment. A lot of cars are bunching up. We're not seeing any debris anywhere at the moment. to go down here. We do now see a yellow flag appear, and it is very common to see a yellow flag here. We've got, well, even Aston Martin there's got no front wing. The LFC, or was it Kidder? I think it might have been Kidder. He's lost his front wing there, yes, he's lost his front wing, so I believe that is the reason for the yellow flag. It's a virtual safety car, and once Kidder gets into the pit lane, I'm sure we'll be starting again there. So let's have a look at positions then. So Adam has managed to retake the lead there, going a bit aggressive, I think, into turn one. Hopefully not at the expense of Solo. Delta Shadow up one position into P3. HDL Trappy down one position. And I think the majority of the grid, other than Kizza maybe, actually staying in the same place as we're actually going again. So Kizza didn't manage to get back to the pit lane. And Adam is able to actually gain a 1.4 second advantage there on Solo. Probably one of the slowest, fastest laps we'll see around Monaco today. As Ash is also losing place. He's got 3 drivers in the pit there, so maybe there was a bit of a build-up. As you go to the downhill section, I need to get my track map up so I can see my corners. As you go to that downhill section, it is commonplace to lose a front wing, I think, as Delta and HDL Trappy are battling right here. If you misjudge your braking zone, you definitely cause yourself a little bit of damage there. And we'll try and view all drivers coming down this area here. Got LFC behind Torrio, Ollie behind LFC, and Matty Clem following as well. A bit of a train forming here behind Torrio. One of the hardest tracks on the calendar to get a proper overtake. Let me get my map sheet up. There we go. Turn six, where people lose a lot of their front wing. But looking at the grid, consider actually there is a bit of space coming between P1 to P3, but there are still some battles ongoing here. HDL Trappy still trying to chase down Delta Shadow, and Stewart trying to chase down Kai at the moment. Now we should have DRS in this lap, although of course you won't actually see it until next lap, as there is just the one DRS activation point, and it actually is before lap 3 starts. So as we get into lap 4, we will start to see our first bouts of DRS. We've got LFC as well, very close to Torrio. Actually, people behind LFC have dropped off now, Ollie and Matty. A lot of people here will be playing for survival, particularly those who don't usually score too many points. I'm sure they'll be looking to survive today. But let's get on board with HDL Trappy as he chases down Delta Shadow here. Delta Shadow has started really picking up his consistency recently, and we're a bit disappointed that his Red Bull partner is not here today, but I'm sure he'll be trying to score as many points as he possibly can. Did a great job so far keeping Trappy behind and holding on to P3. A bit of a wobble it looks like they're ahead for Delta. A couple of little wobbles there, which allows HDL Trappy to get right on his gearbox, and we will see DRS open here straight away. Got great traction coming out of that corner. Let's see if he can get any closer, but he can't. Again, with just the one DRS straight, it's very hard to make a clean overtake. Really, as a defending driver, you only need to use ERS once in a lap, and it is on that straight. And the rest of that time, you can use just fueling up your ERS and gaining battery. But we do have Torrio now, who's jumped into the pit lane. So I think we are seeing some self-inflicted wing losses at the moment, and Ash sets a new fastest lap of the race. Kidder's struggling here, 27 seconds behind. Again, maybe just playing for survival at this point in the hope of a safety car, but the safety cars are very rare when it comes to Monaco. Jump back on board with HDL Trappy, who looks a lot closer to Delta this lap, really putting the pressure on. As Delta again, his back end does wobble there, maybe not able to get any heat into them tyres. But the sun is starting to shine through a little bit more here as Trappy takes it quite slow there in turns 11 and turns 10. So turns 15 and 16. We have on the back to a lot closer here for the ERS for the DRS deployment. But I think Delta Shadow again able to keep him at bay. And actually the Hammer 94 is coming into this battle here, so we might see a bit of a train forming behind Delta Shadow before too long. Lloyd is falling back a little bit as Kizza has retired from the session, and actually we do see a safety car, so he's crash there on turns 10 and 11. His car is in the centre of the track. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see that crash. Let's jump on board with Adam and see if the car stays there for a little bit longer. But this does give a great chance. You can see here Ash and FPS Tricks have dived back into the pit there to maybe regain some tyre strategy. Adam leading the pack there. That car has now disappeared, but I'd assume maybe the barrier on the left-hand side here is what has been hit from Kizzer, and unfortunately that ends his race early. I'm not sure he'll be happy about, means he can get himself back on the beers. And Adam opted to box here. Now, I would not be surprised to see the majority of our grid box here and drop on a set of hard tyres. Although Adam goes onto a set of mediums, Lordy then jumps into the pit here. He's on soft tyres. He usually gets his strategy bang on, and you can see he has opted for those white-walled hard tyres. So Lordy potentially looking to go to the end, or at least as far as he can in this race on those hard tyres. Now, I think that's a smart move there from Lordy. He's going to lose some places initially, but when you think those who've not yet boxed and not yet pitted, and they're still on those old tyres, they'll be looking to pit around lap 15, whereas Lordy will hopefully be able to fly past them and sail on into the sunset. Matty Clem also opted into box. I'm sure that'll be hard tyres for Matty Clem as well, as I believe it is. And actually, he should come out ahead of Torrio. He can get himself up to racing speed here, very briefly, before turn 1. Whereas Torrio is still down to a set delta. Matty Clem does keep P11 there. Let's jump on board. We'll stay on board with the Hammer 94, I suppose, just while we go around here. And let's just take a look at the track information here. So, position changes. Solo is up 1 space there as Adam's boxed. Delta up 2 spaces. HDL Trappy regained 3rd position. The Hammer 94 up 1. Adam down 4 again due to that pit stop. Hyde up 1. Stu's up 2. NFC up 2 and Ollie up 3. Lordy dropped 4 again. Recently boxed. That'll be the reason for that on the safety car. Stuart now does opt to go into the pit. He will likely be towards the back end of the track here. I think he might keep his place to Clem. So maybe it's not that bad of a move there. He's only got a couple of positions while boxing on the second lap of his safety car. Matty Clem up 2 spaces, so not a bad race so far for him. FPS Tricks up 1 space, Ash down 2 and Torrio down 4. Again, a lot of this is due to people actually pitting as opposed to majorly being off the pace. You can see here we've got only a few people that have boxed. So Ash and Tricks boxing twice. Torrio, Matty Clem, Stu and Lordy boxing once, and Adam boxing once as well. So you can see from P9 downwards, it's a case of people have pitted more than those above. And we have a look at the tyre strategies now. So Solo and Shadow maybe taking a bit of a weird decision there to stay out on the medium tyre, potentially hoping for another safety car to come out in the next couple of laps, now that the cars are all bunched together maybe, and then boxing a little bit later there. But if another safety car does not come out, they may potentially struggle for race pace towards the second part of this race. HDL trapping Hammer 94 on the hard tyre, maybe a smart move actually to get a bit of tyre life back in the safety car and make them hard last a little bit longer. But Adam also on his fresh medium tyres. Stuart and Matty Clem on fresh hard tyres as well as Lordy, and towards the back end of the grid, Torrio and Ash on mediums and Zach onto the hard tyre. Now we should have a message for this safety car coming in. It might be next lap though. It was actually to be a very late one. I think it will wait one more lap for Zach to catch up with the back of the field. Over Adam Beans, it never let me into the lobby. From written invite, did have LFC form didn't send, so that's God telling me I wasn't meant to race and shit. Apologies, Raven. I can see how you didn't actually message to force an invite of anybody else, so I take it you weren't that interested tonight, but I'm glad that you've hung around, glad that you've dropped in, and hopefully we can entertain you for as long as you are here. So I do fully expect this safety car to come in this lap. We'll very quickly recap on the driver standings so far. So Adam currently running away early on. I fully expect HDL Trappy to catch Adam and be competitive with Adam. He did DNF in one of our races, which wasn't great, and then got himself a 10-second penalty last week, which again wasn't fantastic. Adam in P1 currently, Solo P2, LSC P3, Ash is in P4, Raven in P5, Trappy P6, FPS Trick P7, the Hammer 94 P8, Matty Clem P9, Baggy P10, Torio P11, Ollie P12, Saint P13, Kinder P14, Kai P15. If you do get a message to say safety car will be in this lap. Chris in P16, Delta in P17. To be fair, I'm talking about people who have got 0 points, so we'll go ahead and we will get back to the action here. Now then, Solo, who actually had a fantastic safety car restart in our previous race in Spain, I believe it was. So you can see, gets his foot straight down, likes getting his foot down nice and early, and he has pulled a bit of a gap there from Delta's Shadow. A bit of a gap between him and HDL Trappy, although Adam is right on the back of the Hammer 94, looking for a move into turn 1 that doesn't come. Lord on the back of Ollie, let's do somebody that he won't want to be stuck behind for too long here. Lord got a lot more pace than Ollie. We'll hopefully try to show that later on. As Ash gets a penalty as he moves past Torio, and I wonder if he'll have to give that place back if he's gone off the track there. Let's jump on with Adam though, who is going to really want to make a move on the Hammer 94 and does cause some contact there. Now, Adam, one of the people that mentioned earlier to be patient about making moves around Monaco, decides to absolutely throw one down the inside there of the Hammer 94. Let's check my telemetry here to see what we have. It looks like we've no damage to either of those cars. And so they've both got away one there, I think, but Adam being a little bit too risky there. And he actually, by trying to force a move that early on, he actually drops 2 more positions into P7. So a bit of a silly boy there. As Lordy manages to get past Ollie, doing force wide there. Stuart as well looking for the move. I don't think he's going to come just yet. Matt Clem right on the gearbox of Stuart. Again, maybe Ollie holding people up here, and Matt, a little bit late on the brake. And he does touch Stuart, and that is a bit of wing damage for Stuart as well. So we're going straight into the pit. Well, no, he actually avoids the pit and goes straight into another wall, and has FPS behind him, who also now has no front wing. So a bit of carnage there. Again, drivers maybe trying to force a move. I think Torio has to go into the pit lane there. I'm not sure what happened with him. Again, I'm assuming he's gone in to change a front wing again. And this is going to, I think, turn into a battle of survival here. Survival of the fittest. As see there, Matty Clem making a bit of an incident there with Stuart being offline, and Ash pushing Ollie around the corner. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 here. I think that might have been Ash pushing Ollie around, as he actually makes a fantastic move there on Matty Clem to get back ahead in his quest to fight Ollie. Now let's jump on back on with Adam versus LFC. Beautiful watching these two drivers actually run around this track here. More Adam try and force the move. No, he won't. He felt much. Oh, he will actually. Try to slingshot it there down the inside, but it wasn't to be. And he will have DRS here on LFC, and he's very close to LFC. LFC making it very hard. I'm giving him a bit of a push there. And down the inside. Oh, he really throws it in there. Adam really getting very aggressive today. Again, after making a note in the chat to say, people, please do have a bit of patience. He's getting extremely aggressive there. And LFC actually uses out another space to Lordy. And had he got damage from that move, I wonder? Let's have a look. Just double check everybody's damage situation. So LFC does have front wing damage. So that'll be another pit for LFC, I think. Adam's going around, absolutely getting his elbows out here. I'm sure we'll see plenty of clips coming in post-race as Kai chasing down the Hammer 94 here, who was looking quite close to HDL Trappy earlier on, but has now lost a bit of time there. Again, maybe just trying to survive. And Kai, will he be silly and try and move as well? No, he won't. I do think with this particular circuit, rather than actually going for an overtake, it's better to try and just keep your wheels in a consistent space and follow, you know, your known racing line in order to make moves. Actually, Jack catching up now to HDR Trappy, who's looking to make him on Delta Shadow, who again is keeping him behind quite nicely here, and I guess properly frustrating HDR Trappy. LFC got past Ash, and then Ash got past LFC, and I think that was actually just LFC dived into the pit lane. We move back to HDR Trappy right on the gearbox here of Delta. Very nice on the brakes there from both drivers. Delta Shadow just closing off the next corner. Trappy trying to get a little bit of space on the inside, but it wasn't being given to him. Great defensive driving there from Delta, all within limits. Let's see, can Trappy get a bit of a slingshot into the next tight chicane here? I don't think he will be able to. No, nothing is given there to get some fantastic driving from Delta Shadow. Adam looking to make yet another move here. He has now picked up a penalty. And Kai's fallen back into a bit more of a defensive position now to defend against Adam as opposed to attacking the Hammer 94. Adam flying over that corner. They're actually fantastic pace through that turn, but has to back out of the move. As Kai was parked right in the middle of the track there again, some fantastic defensive driving, and that's what it's all about here at Monaco. If you are in front of somebody, if you are looking to secure some points, get those elbows out in a safe manner. Don't let people pass through though. I don't think Kai could do very much about that with Adam, although he's coming back at him now as we go uphill. I don't think he's got enough pace in those tyres to keep Adam out on those pressure medium tyres. Go look towards the bottom end of the grid here. Oh, Tario jumped into the box again, so maybe we won't. Let's jump back on board with Lordy then, as Kai seems to be taking out his front wing. He has got a bit of a train forming here behind Delta Shadow. This could be interesting here as drivers begin to get a little bit impatient. In fact, it's not even behind Delta Shadow, it's behind the leader, Solo. So a lot of drivers here are packed up behind Solo. Delta Shadow there, there's got Delta Shadow's got no front wing. No front wing for Delta Shadow, so I don't see where that's gone. Whether that was him trying to get an overtake on Solo, and it's caused a bit of wing damage, though. Delta Shadow will have to concede a few places here, and he's going to drop down really as far as... Oh, and we've got a virtual safety car, which may have actually just saved Delta's blushes a little bit. As Solo, Delta, and the Hammer 94 and Trappy all choose to hit the pit lane here. Oh, sorry, no, the Hammer 94 stays out. Going even further on his virtual safety car, playing for track position here. Adam back into P2. For the moment, it looks like his strategy has worked. He's now put 4 places between him and Solo, who was his most fierce competitor at the start of the race today. This virtual safety car still out. It's not been turned into a full safety car. And really, that's a bit disappointing, to be honest with you, because we could have had a nice little train going there, and could have really watched some cars battle out and get a little bit impatient and try and throw some little moves in there, and attempt to get an overtake in a very tough track. But we should very soon see this safety car cleared up. I'm wondering if it's waiting for Torio to get back to the pit lane. No, Torio looks to be in decent shape at the moment, so I would have thought this safety car would be ending soon. There we go. Got a drive-through penalty with Stewart. We've misjudged the jump there. Adam chasing down the Hammer 94. These two have clashed already today. This is currently our closest battle on track. A few of our drivers not having fantastic races so far, but we're not even halfway there yet, so still plenty of time to improve that. And again, I actually think we'll probably see a second round of pit stops from the majority of our drivers. Ash goes into the pit now. I'm not sure if he has damage. It doesn't look like he's got damage. He's decided now's a good time to pit, as Ollie picked up a 3-second penalty. And we get a yellow flag in sector 2. That's the Mercedes going slow. Mercedes with Stewart going slow there. And did I just see correctly? Was there a safety car on track right then? Is there a safety car on track here? Am I tripping? No, it must have been... I could have sworn I just saw a safety car. Oh, whoa, what is happening here? We've got a bit of a pile-up, it looks like. Hold on. We have damage around here somewhere? We had yellow flags and I saw a lot of cars very close together. But actually, maybe that was the issue. So Adam is now going into P1 here. And the Hammer 94 drops to P5. And he looks to be moving extremely slowly. And he's lost even more front wing. We've got a yellow flag again in sector 3. There's some major front wing damage there for the Hammer 94s. Adam now loses 2 places to go into the pit lane. Again, potentially being a little bit too much of an eager beaver. And these yellow flags are flashing up quite a lot here. Now, Adam losing some spaces now. Very hard to keep up with all the incidents more than the track action. That yellow flag is now being dropped. And Ash drives through past his teammate. And it's very close to LSC. He's also very close to Ollie. Let's watch this battle here as it unfolds. LSC versus Ollie. Fighting for minor points today, LSC and Ash. It used to be a lot further up the leaderboard. But maybe struggling around the Monaco circuit. You've got a yellow flag in sector 1 and 3. That's Stuart again, it looks like, who cuts a corner. And I've got a feeling Stuart might end the race very soon. LFC just looking for the right moment. Again, it's sort of what we like to see. Some nice patient driving here from LFC. He knows he's got more pace than Ollie. He knows he's got better racecraft than Ollie. He's just biding his time here, waiting for the correct moment to make that move. Although, as I say that in the same breath, he did attempt a bit of a dive bomb there. I say a bit of a dive bomb. A move down the inside there is never really on unless you're already alongside the car at that point there, LSC. You're certainly not alongside Ollie. He defends the position very well here. And LSC bumping into Ollie again. Let's see what Ash thinks of this. So Ash is very close. We've got another yellow flag here. Is this just Stuart? I don't know what he's doing here. No idea what Stu's trying to do there. I'm going to stick on board in case we're trying to bring out a safety car. It looks like he's just going to head back to the pit lane and retire. That's my guess here. I'm going to stick on board with him just in case we're trying something funky. You've got a faster car approaching, Stu. You're going to want to get out of the way here, mate. But it looks like it has ghosted him. I genuinely don't know what Stu's doing. All I'm going to say is after watching Stu drive to the end of that lap there, if you do see him retire on track, I'm going to call it as a purposeful DNF. Okay, so I'm not really sure what he's been up to there, letting cars go past. There's no reason to be driving so slow. It's taken our eyes away from some very important action. They've actually missed 2 overtakes while watching. Stuart, LFC and Ash did manage to get past Ollie in the end there, and they're now just fighting against each other. The FPS Tricks actually nice and close to the Hammer 94. Let's have a look here. It looks like the Hammer 94 has made the overtake already. And FPS Tricks just having to tuck in behind. Got the other flag in sector 2. That is Adam, who's fallen back to P7. It's Ash and it's LFC now. We've got, well, really quite a way to go, it looks like. But some clean air for LFC will be nice for him. And I think he might actually burn down some time here and be able to catch quite nice. And I've just noticed in P1, somebody who did mention heavily in qualifying, returning to the bunker this season, done his first race of the season in his Ferrari car. And it is Lordy up in the P1. As Stu retires in the pit lane, so I'm happy he retired in the pit lane rather than on track. You're already doing very well here, and Kai in P2 as well. Kai having a very good race so far. He's had to pit a couple of times, but I think most people by now have had to pit a couple of times, whether it's self-inflicted or not. as HDL Trappy is now trying to get past Delta Shadow, who I'm sure by the end of this, he will never want to follow a Red Bull ever again, because he's seen nothing this race other than the word Oracle on the back of Delta Shadow's Red Bull. They're one of our closest battles on track currently. The only other battle is Ash versus LFC, but I think Ash do a good job here, just stay in the DRS of LFC and hope that they can pull, or he can get pulled along. Although I'm not sure, maybe Ash might have more pace than LFC, but maybe struggling to make that move. LFC actually losing time here in clean air, gone from 18 seconds to 20 seconds, and Ash right on the gearbox, but again playing things a little bit smart here, just letting LFC have that space. As Kai jumps into the pit there, so from P2 he has jumped into the box and back out of the box, and actually that might be a clean pit there. He actually has, yeah, he had the time and the space to actually get a nice pit, get himself some clean air. He hasn't got the pressure of Delta chasing him or Trappy chasing him. He's now got 7 seconds to LFC, and try to keep that gap on the fresher tyres for LFC. Under pressure still from Ash, you see Solo getting past Ollie. Ash still chasing down LFC here as we head downhill. There were no moves to be made at the moment. Have a look at FPS Tricks, who's chasing down Ollie, and we're heading to the car park here, where all the cars seem to go very, very slow. Well, you have to go very, very slow, but sometimes people don't understand that, and there ends up being contact. Let's see what Zach tries to do here. But a pretty poor weekend so far, but he does find himself in the points provisionally, and he hits the wall a little bit on the left-hand side, looking a little bit out of shape there, as the Hammer 94 just retired from the session. On the right-hand side there, looking pretty bad. Looks like he's hit the wall on the left maybe, and then been slingshotted across to the right, but that has been cleared up by the stewards, and there will not be a safe car. Looks a very similar position to where he's a DNF, but maybe a little bit further on, so it's a little bit safer there for us to remove his car. Look at Ash again, right on the gearbox of LFC. HDL Trap is still about the same distance away, or he was the same distance away from Delta Shadow. I actually think that it's only the DRS that is helping HDL Trappy. I think Delta's actually got more out and out pace today. And Ash, I'd say Ash has got more out and out pace than LFC. He just can't make this move, and looks like he's getting a little bit impatient there. Either that or he's just misjudged his braking zone. We do have a yellow flag in sector 3, and it looks like an Alfa Romeo of Matty Clem that has actually gone off the track there. Let's try and get on board with our leaders and see. I don't think that car is now been cleared. Actually, we're not going to be able to view that car. Matty Clem, I believe it was Matty Clem, just DNF there as well after the Hammer 94. So we're getting very close to the point now where if you survive, you get points, and surprisingly, the only car outside of the points is our current Drivers' Championship leader, Adam, but in the same breath, FPS Tricks takes a tumble. And where's he got off? Gone off there, turn 15, turn 16. Again, a very tricky corner as you do start to get fatigued. That will bring Adam into the points, so they're not exactly where he wants to be. He's still a long way to go, just kept getting damage off everyone and got a bullshit drive with no half second up on the virtue. That's a shame, Stuart, to check. It did look like you were trying to bring out a safety car at one point, like the soundboard, and you make sure you wasn't doing so. Yeah, no racing was track again, so Zach. It was a very tough weekend for you, Zach, and as soon as you managed to get into some decent points, it was game over for you, but do feel free to stay around. You have got some great battles going on here between, well, you can see here, Lordy, who's just boxed actually from P1, but Delta Shadow and HDL Trappy very close to each other, and Ash chasing down LFC, also a very interesting battle to watch at the moment, watching Ash's patience, as we do now get a virtual safety car, virtual safety car. We've got some front wing damage on Ash's car actually, so the driver we're on board is now got some front wing damage just before he did jump on board, and he dives into the pit. That's probably the end of that battle with LFC. As Adam gets a drive-through penalty from P10, so Adam really looking at minimum points here, which should excite all of our viewers and all of our drivers, because our current championship leader is currently set to only get 1 point this weekend. I control the foot from my OSD's foot, not telling me when I got a warning up. Okay. Yeah, I might have been linked to the lobby. Lobby issue, maybe, but it's a bit too far into the session now to call it back. I'm sure nobody wants me to say lobby restart when it's Monaco. Let's have a look now. Closest battle now. We've got HDL Trappy still chasing down Delta Shadow, a driver he's not been able to get past. The only words he's read all day today is the word Oracle. And even when he gets his DRS, I think Delta's just saving all of his ERS for this straight, getting himself a nice clean exit and holding on to that position. Delta Shadow, who got his first win in the bunker at our next race, it's coming up, Canada, so last season. When we went to Canada, that's where Delta Shadow got his first race. And at the moment, he's looking pretty good here for another race victory. And a little bit further down, we've got Lordy, who's just 7 tenths away from Kai as Ollie gets himself a 3-second penalty. Quickly running in P7. At the moment, running his own race, no pressure ahead, no pressure behind. So again, if he keeps them penalties down to a minimum, he could be looking at a very good finish here as Lordy tries to chase Kai, but I think he might be losing a little bit of time in the downhill section. We'll jump back on board with HDL Trappy. Delta Shadow now gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, and that means that off track, HDL Trappy is still in front, but please, Delta Shadow, keep this battle going, because you never know, Trappy could get himself a penalty as well and put you back in the lead. Ghosting with Defo off, almost got killed by Stu's retired car. I think it does that sometimes with retired cars, because Stu retired in the pit. Oh, Kai with a DNF. What's happened there? He's already got damage. And you get now a full safety car, which gives Adam a chance to come back into this race. And let's take a look. Lordy's got no damage here, so I'm not sure if that's a driver error from Kai. We can't actually see where he's gone in it. One of our drivers are going past his car, but I think it must have been on the straight or just after the pit entry on the left hand side, just as you get onto the main straight. Now you're putting his foot down a little bit too much, losing his rears, something like that, and ultimately losing his car as well. Only makes a mistake and brings the car back in the middle of the track at 2 miles an hour. There's not really much space to move out of the way. There is around Monaco. Sometimes you have to try and concede a little bit. But yeah, we've got an absolute spanner in the works here, and what makes things even worse, if you look at the tyre life here of the current front runners, both on 11 lap old tyres, we've got an LFC off. We're going to see Delta Shadow and Trappy jump into the box here. Trappy stays out. Not sure on that one there. What have we got here? 14? No, 14. Is that right number? 14? Yeah, about 14 laps to go. Is that right? I'm not sure. I'm not good at maths. 13 laps. No, 13 laps to go. 13 laps to go. So these 11 or 12 lap old tyres now. I've got to basically do the same distance again. I don't think they're going to have the strength to do that. The Delta Shadow, I think, in the long run, has made a very good decision there. Particularly as Trappy is about to catch the safety car, which means if he does go into the pit lane, Delta Shadow will be right behind him. And Trappy is going to lose out on some time there. So I actually think potentially Trappy's made a bad decision. However, it's Monaco. And if you're in P1, you can get your elbows out. It doesn't really matter what tyre wear you've got. People won't be able to make it past you if you can keep it on track and in the middle of the track as well. Well, whilst the drivers do decide to catch up to this safety car, let's have a look at how our Constructors' Championship was looking before this race started. So Alpine were top on 51 points. Again, that's all Adam. At the moment, he's struggling for points, although people do keep DNFing him, which is allowing him to come back into the race. As you get Delta Shadow with severe penalty or severe collision with Adam. Now, hold on a second. Let me just have a look on board here. Oh, and Adam's actually been lapped, it looks like. Adam has surprisingly been lapped here. Which I think will be a first. And he's certainly won't be able to unlap himself, I don't think. The only way he could unlap himself here would be if Trappy goes into the pit lane. It would then allow Adam to unlap himself so that Delta Shadow could take the lead of the race. So that's the only way this would happen here. However, I've got a feeling that HDL Trappy, against his championship rival really, I can't see him being so kind. I bet he's absolutely buzzing that Delta Shadow's now got a 5-second penalty to his name on top of that 3-second penalty he got earlier. But looking at our constructor standings again, so Alpine top, McLaren P2. We've got Ash in the race still, the Hammer 94 retired earlier on today. We've got Williams in P3 and Solo still running pretty strong in P5. Aston Martin in P4. Again, no drivers are left in the race for Aston Martin. Then got the Alfa Romeo. Again, both Alfa Romeos retired today. Then we've got Alfa Tauri, who've got no drivers present for Alfa Tauri in this race. So you can see some good points here from Mercedes, as Trappy currently sits in P1. Haas, again, we've got Ollie in P6, some good points here for Haas. Ferrari looking very strong, and we've got Lordi in P3 and Torrio in P2. Torrio in P8, sorry. And then Red Bull Race, we've picked up some very good points with Delta Shadow, currently sat in P2. So, as our grid starts to line up here, there are still a few drivers who are playing catch-up here. HDL Trappy still has not gone into the pit lane. However, what's Adam managed to do here? Adam has managed to... No, he hasn't. I thought he managed to fall back a little bit there. I think we're just leaving some space to HDL Trappy. Backing up the grid a little bit, maybe. The majority of our cars now have joined the grid. Torrio still waiting to join the back of the pack. And I think the safety car will be in this lap once Torrio and Ash have joined the pack successfully. I think really what we need to do is maybe look at Lordi on this restart. We can get a nice POV of Trappy's restart, what Adam does on the restart, and then how Delta Shadow is able to react to that, because this could be vital. Could be vital to Delta's championship and Delta's race today. Lordi and Torrio are currently the only two drivers with no penalties, so if the grid stays nicely close, they've got a massive advantage there. Let's see what Trappy does here. He's keeping it slow through the final corner, put straight down. Delta's foot is also straight down. And again, he's got a contest with Adam's car. He's actually just unlapped himself. Very nicely done there from Adam. Delta Shadow looking for a move on Trappy. Trappy early was very patient with Delta Shadow. Delta Shadow looks for a dive down the inside here. Both drivers racing very fair. You've got Adam who's just kind of getting in the way here a little bit. Again, you know, Adam's got a bit of an ego. He won't want to be the driver that's being lapped. He will want to try and unlap himself and get himself back ahead. And currently what he's done on track, so everyone ignored the Alpine, as Delta has a bit of a wobble, and that brings Lordi into the frame, who has a bit of contact there. Going through the tunnel section, these two drives wheel to wheel. And somehow they managed to avoid any major contact. Both Delta Shadow and Lordi are still going in this race. Have a little look further back here. What Torrio and Ash do. I need to remember to ignore Adam at the moment because he's leading the race, but also at the back of the grid as well. We've got a bit of a queue forming here. LFC guys into the pit lane, as does Solo, so maybe a bit of contact there between those two. Well, LFC is on very old tyres, as Delta has made the move to get himself back into P1. Like HDL Trappy on these old tyres, possibly losing a lot of pace here, and I would expect Lordy to also make a move. We're also likely to see Torio making a move on Ash, although he does seem to have dropped back a little bit. Fresh soft tyres versus 13 lap old tyres. You'd expect those soft tyres to be a lot cleaner at this point. Take a step back and look at Ash fighting Ollie, but no, step back at Lord if he's a bit closer here, and he does have to back out. Still makes the corner, keeps his tyres nice and clean. Apologies, HDL Trappers also got no penalties in this race. We're going to keep it nice and clean here. Let's see what he can do with DRS. Fresh tyres versus old tyres. Ash gets a 3-second penalty there. Ooh, that HDL Trappy. He's just gone off the track, and his car is in a very bad way. Trappy not having the start this season he would have liked. 2 DNFs and a 10-second penalty in the previous race. Now we've got another DNF here today. It's in a very, very tricky situation. Actually, the driver's safety car wasn't brought out there, but luckily enough our drivers can keep racing. And today really was a day where Trappy could have got a result and got back in the running for that driver's championship, but we'll now have to wait for another day. Maybe feeling a bit of pressure from Lordy on those old tyres, trying to push them a little bit too hard. Now Doubt a Shadow can potentially drive into the sunset unless Lordy has something to say about that. And we see Ash now, who's trying to fight back and get ahead of Ollie. Gonna have a quick flick while there are no major battles going on. Have a penalty situation here. So Ash had more penalties than Ollie. Delta Shadow actually with an 8-second penalty. So currently Lordy is the winner of this race at the moment. Ash gets a nice move there on Ollie, but need to go into the wall, and Ollie might be able to get his position back. And in the background, Torio could also get his position back. Ash goes ahead of Ollie, as the Torio's Ollie coming into the box, that's why. You can't set on the penalties are up, so you have to play some guessing game there. But Ash with 9-second penalties, not looking good for him. Torio with no penalties, it does look good for him. Got LST on 3, Thurl on 3, Ollie on 6, and Adam on 3 as well. So at the moment, Lordy looking at a P1 on his return to Bunker Racing. However, as much as you're battling against other drivers, you're also battling against yourself and this tight Monaco circuit, as Torio is trying to find a move here on Ash. Our only driver who was within the seconds now falling out of that threshold on the straight under the bridge. And you see the beautiful, beautiful cruise ships in the Monaco Bay there. Torio getting back within a second very briefly. Oh my lord, Torio there taking a big corner cut, losing some front wing. And it looks like some of our drivers here are actually failing the fatigue, or the battle against fatigue here, as Torio has to go into the box, and that allows Ash now a bit more space, and actually that 9-second penalty becomes less of an issue, as LSC is 8 seconds behind him with that 3-second penalty there. Ash currently also standing on the bottom step of the podium. Now Solo, who's created our next closest battle against LFC here. 4 tenths away. Let's see how we can follow him through the circuit. These two have had an absolutely fantastic battle so far at every single track that we've raced at this season. Particularly at Barcelona, it was 1 lap LSC in front, 1 lap Solo in front. This race has been slightly different, where one driver's had to lead. It's come down to when they've pitted as to when they've actually been able to get in front of one another. So they're just dropping off now as we go underneath the bridge, and again back down to Monaco Bay. Look at all those lovely cruise ships there. I'm sure Q Raikkonen on one of those cruise ships somewhere drinking a pint, but there goes Solo into a wall and hasn't got any major damage from that. It looks like he's actually avoided damage here, but from my telemetry I'm seeing that Ash and LFC have both actually got good wing damage. But with just 4 laps to go once I cross the line, maybe now is a good time to say, you know, fuck it, we've got some wing damage, let's just try and defend what we can. And in fairness, LFC does get overtaken from Solo, then got a 9-second gap, I'm going to say 9-minute gap there, a 9-second gap to Ollie. So he's got a bit of a buffer really, even with wing damage. Now he's slowly eating into the time that he's behind Ash. So again, that penalty of Ash's could come into play shortly, depending on how bad Ash's wing damage actually is here. It's very surprising driving with no wings, so it must be minor wing damage that I'm seeing. Because it looks like he's absolutely fine there, so my telemetry may be incorrect. Got both of them plates. It could be the same for LFC as well. Maybe he is, yeah, he's actually looking good for his front wing as well. Unless again, could be a visual thing on our end. Solo has fallen back now to more than a second. And Ash jumps into the pit lane, so maybe he is getting a wing change here? He's opting for a wing change, getting a fresh set of softs on. Let's see how many positions he drops here. Now, yes, he's dropping positions on the track, but he's also got a penalty, and he's actually serving his penalty now. He's served a 5-second penalty there, so he should still just have 6 seconds of track limit penalties. And with 4 laps to go, it looks like Ash is going to try and attempt a fast lap attempt. Now, whoa, Delta Shadow has now gone into a wall somewhere. And let's jump on board with Roy. It looks on the straight actually, so maybe just a lapse of concentration there from Delta Shadow. He was on for his 2nd victory in the Bunker League, and his car has now been removed from the track, so we'll never see it again. But I look pretty much on the straight there. He's just going to the chance that he's got a bit of oversteer as he's left the corner, and that's a massive disappointment there for Delta Shadow, because he was on for a fantastic drive really into P1 around Monaco, and he could have got some great points there for Red Bull. As you see, Solo nearly got off the track, and what I thought this could be for Ollie, currently sat in P4. Torrio as well, looking for another good result here. Again, Monaco, similar to Baku, similar to, well, the Bunkers race in Las Vegas as well. A battle to the end. Doesn't matter who you're fighting really, you're fighting against yourself, and you're fighting against this tight circuit around Monaco. Solo up here now to try and steer himself a P3. So just a bit of a slide there and out of that corner as well. Maybe just losing some grip on the rears of those soft tyres. How long have we been running those soft tyres for? 6 laps there, so again the soft tyres don't last too long around Monaco, and so potentially losing a bit of grip there on the rear. But this should shake things up a little bit. It should shake things up a little bit in our driver's standing nice and early on into our season. We're already getting a good result here today. LFC up into P2. Good action for LFC. It looked like he's going to really struggle today. I believe he qualified in P10. So he's actually done a fantastic job to stay alive and also make up some spaces where he can. Solo, as always, sticking very close to LFC. In this occasion, he's not able to actually get past him at this point. Again, it could come down to penalties in the next 2 laps. Ollie, a fantastic drive from him in the half today. It's looked fairly clean. I know Zach said there were some times where he's gone slightly off the track and then just parked the car again in the middle of the track. But generally, I haven't seen him box that often. I haven't seen him lose many wins, I don't think. So it's been, damage-wise, fairly clean on his car. Again, cars around him might disagree with that, and I can't say that I've been watching Ollie the entirety of the race. Torio and Ash, we've seen them had a few little battles, a few little skirmishes throughout this race, but Torio looking good, and in fact Torio looks like he might be getting in very close with Ollie here. So let's stay on board towards the end of this race. Just the 2 laps remaining. So in fact really just the 1 lap remaining is about to start. The leader, Lordy, about to start the final lap of this race, and Torio trying to get the final overtake of this race on Ollie. Ollie is losing ERS. You can see the light is flashing, but really he's done the main thing. He's managed to keep the move in the DRS zone. Other than that, it's very difficult to overtake, and Ash actually jumping in on this battle as well. So Ash maybe just looking to see if Torio and Ollie might have an incident here. In fact, Ash looking for a dive down the inside, and he touches Torio. It sends Torio into a wall. Torio looking for that answer back here as Ash pushes forward, and Torio really missing his braking zone there. Not too sure what was going through his mind. Let's jump on board with Ash as he's chasing down another position here on Ollie. Hard on the brake then. What the hell has Torio just done then? That's either a purposeful DNF or an attempt to slaughter 2 of our drivers, really. And that is something we'll possibly be dealt with after this race finishes. And whilst that was going on, did we miss? No, we didn't miss. I'm pretty sure it said lap 38 there a minute ago, and unless Lord had already crossed the line. But let's stick on board now with our current race leader. Whether he will still be the race leader at the end of the race is another story. There's still plenty of corners left, plenty of tricky corners left here for Lordy. Bring it around. The final 2 and 3 corners. And there is your race leader, your race winner for today, Lordy 27. And look at that gap, a 26 seconds gap to P2. There were a lot of drivers that were battling with him, Delta Shadow, HL Trappy, Kai at one point as well. But none of them could stick with him. None of them could keep the fatigue away. And that's a massive GG there for Lordy. Now the one thing I'll say to you, Delta, is the way that Lordy was going, you actually weren't going to get the race win anyway due to penalties. So if that's any kind of a consolation to you, but I doubt it will be, if that is any kind of a consolation to you, which I hope it is, then at least, you know. I mean, you would have still got P2, you would have definitely still got P2. There's no question about that, so you can feel a bit hard done by. But hey, we come again, we go again, we go again. That's it, that's it. Tracks like Monaco, we put them in there. We usually have one a season, a Monaco or a Baku, just to see who can actually survive the toughest circuits. And unfortunately for you, Delta, you were the weakest link. But you know what, Delta? You did have a fantastic drive. You kept HDL Trappy, who's one of our fastest drivers, behind you for an extremely long time in that race. In fact, the entirety of that race, I think, until a round of pit stops. So, yeah, fantastic drive from you. Although you didn't make it to the end, it was still a fantastic drive, and we hope you've enjoyed your evening with us. But let's just go over our race and our classification. And so Lordy in P1. Again, a fantastic drive from him. 3 stops in the race. LFC as well, who started on P10, managed to get a P2. We've got Solo, who captured the P3. Ollie into P4. Ash who's in P5. Adam, who is our current race leader, our current championship leader, he started off in P1. He did 5 stops in this race. He actually ended up being lapped in this race as well. So a difficult day for Adam, but it will take some consolation in the fact that HCL Trappy actually also DNF'd his main kind of championship rival. However, some good points for LFC, who again can try and push himself up that constructor and up that drivers' championship. Congratulations to everyone who's finished, obviously. But yeah, massive congratulations there to Lordy. And we look towards, that's our current round. We look towards our next round, which is Canada. A race where Delta Shadow got his first victory in the Bunker League. We'll be looking forward to see whether we can do the same thing again. I believe it was from something like 0.02 of a second that Delta managed to steal the lead in that particular race. So we'll see if he can do the same again next week. But from all of us here at the Bunker, we thank you for a fantastic drive around Monaco. I know some of our drivers may have gone out, but you all went out in style. One of the toughest circuits that F1 provides. Congratulations to everyone that did finish. Massive congratulations to our podium sitters. Yeah, I'm sure you had a great time. Yep, Jack, you definitely went out in style. Definitely went out in style. Now, there was probably a lot of contact in this race, so feel free to drop any of those incidents into the incident reports, and our stewards will be able to take a look at those and take the relevant action if necessary. And other than that, we move on to next week in Canada. Another entertaining race, a lot of straights, a lot of overtaking points, and a lot of chances for drivers to pick up penalties on track limits. We'll be there, we'll be live, 9 PM, same time every week. See you there. Remind that these do go out on YouTube as well, so if you are looking to watch the race back, you can decide to do it on Twitch, or if you want to enjoy your weekend and not look at everyone DNFing in Monaco, you can feel free to join us over on the YouTube channel, where the VODs will start for a lot longer. But again, appreciate everyone who's raced today. Appreciate everyone who's dropped by and viewed today. And we will see you all next week.